All right, welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is February the 22nd of 2022. That means that this is a 2/22/22. This is a day that a lot of people are saying that a lot of interesting things are going to be happening. I am more concerned with February the 23rd. 223 is more of their number. I can't really say. I mean, maybe 22 has always been a number of death or finality. It is possible something may happen today. I'm sure anything can happen. So keep your eyes open. Keep aware of what's going on in the world. Um, I'm not saying anything will or won't happen, but the psychopaths that run this world, they love their numbers. The numbers may not mean anything to anybody at all. You may just see these numbers and you may just think, oh, that's just numbers. They mean nothing. That's up to you. That's fine to you. You may have lived your entire life and seen all these numbers and not thought that they were anything whatsoever. But it's not what it means to you. It's what it means to the people that are running the show. So today we're going to read Psalm 113, which yet again is another one of their numbers. I did not plan this. This is not how I plan anything. This is just how we're going and how it worked out. This does not make me Illuminati. This does not make me anything else. Because believe me, if I wanted to do any kind of psalm or any kind of number on a date in which they have numbered for themselves, I would have probably done the 112 today, because 112 is 22. So even though I've seen it to where those powers that should not be, they tend to mix and match numbers, and I have yet to figure out why. There's reasons for their numbers that we don't have. We don't have that knowledge yet. We know some of it. We don't know all of it. But when I see the numbers keep popping up together in certain places, I see this mix and match of numbers as if, because this number means this and this number means that. And then you get into the gematria of the thing where you disassemble the name of somebody or something that was part of it that ties into it. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I'm not the best at it in the world. I can see the numbers now. I can see, everywhere where they use use numerology and everything. And again, it may not mean anything to you, but to them, it means everything. So take that as you will. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to read Psalm 113, and then we're going to talk about it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the Father today. So, anyways, Psalm 113. Follow along if you feel like it. Praise ye the Lord. Praise, O ye servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. The Lord is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Who is like unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high, who humbleth himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth? He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill, that he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. He maketh the barren woman to keep house, and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. Amen. I'm getting a little tickle in the back of my throat. Sorry, I just coughed right in your ear. I could not help it. Let me take a drink of water, and then we will go back over this. Okay. And I am trying to keep an ear out. We are getting rain again, and one of the things, I don't even know if I talked about it yesterday, was that we had so much rain that we had water all over the basement. I don't want to say all over. We have something going on. We think that it's our. We think that it's in our septic tank. It's either our tank is full, or that there's a clog somewhere, and we got so much water that it started coming back up into the pipes. And there's a place underneath the bathroom downstairs that there's a seal or something. I don't know, maybe an overflow pipe or something. That it just water's just pouring out. And we had water all over the hallway, and it started getting into the main area downstairs. We have a finished basement, and just a nightmare. So I'm keeping an ear out on the rain, because if it starts getting really bad, I might have to go take our miniature sump pump and start sumping out the water. That was Thursday, though, so that was why I missed doing one of these on Friday, just because I came back down and the whole basement was wet, and I had to, do some vacuuming, and we got a wet dry vac, and I was trying to get some of this stuff up, but that's a different conversation for a different time. We're having to shell out some money to get a guy to come out tomorrow. Hopefully, if the weather's good, he will come out tomorrow, and he's going to drain our sump pump, or drain our septic tank, because we think it hasn't been drained in 5 years. We don't know. Even though the previous owners that we bought it from told us that they drained it in 2020, we don't know. It's better. It's better for us to have it done than to not know. And I would rather have it done. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's go back over this. Praise ye the Lord, which has been the first line in every psalm that we have read, almost every psalm, for the past couple days. I know there was some before that too, but it's been starting like that. If it's the first line of a psalm, you should probably pay attention to it. Praise ye the Lord. Praise the Lord every single day. Praise, O ye servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this day forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. Now some people do the sacred naming thing, and that's cool. When I pray, I pray to Most High Yahweh. That's what I do. And when I'm reading out of the book, I read it straight out of the book. Some people will, put Yahweh's name in place of the Lord, and that's fine. You can do that too. I'm just reading the book as it is. So I have a blue Bible that we found at a Goodwill. I don't know what it's called, but it has, everywhere it says the Lord or says God, it changes the name. and it writes it in like the Hebrew Yahweh Yahweh, I think it's what it. I got that backwards, didn't I? I'm so sorry. But it changes the name um, to the 4 Hebrew letters. Yod Hey Vav Hey. There you go. And it changes the names of the prophets and everything back into their original, you know, pronunciations. And I've always wondered about that book. Because, it's like I said, we found it at a Goodwill. And I think I got that one for free. Yeah, you can get a Bible at Goodwill for free. If anyone needs a Bible, you can go get one. And you can say that it's a Bible when you go check it out. And they will give it to you for free. If they charge you for it, tell them. Because we've actually had it both ways. I've actually had, I've gotten several, well, not several, a couple Bibles for free. I got that Strong's Concordance. I got this big, huge, monstrous Strong's Concordance that came out in like the 50s or the 60s. And she was like, "Is this a Bible?" I said, "Well, it's biblical." She's okay. She didn't ring it up. I'm like, "Dude, that book is huge." Ah, sorry, my nose is getting to me. Um, but then there's other ones where I wasn't paying attention. She rang it up, and I was like, "Well, it's $1, whatever." It's you buy books at the Goodwill all the time. They're $1, whatever. So, but if you ever want a free Bible, if you ever need a free Bible, and if you can go in there and find one, if you can find one, they're kind of hard to find. Um, some places do have a pretty decent amount of them, and but if you ever need one, go out there and do that. Uh, but we found that, and I have not read through it. It's one of those that I just never, I never really got to read all the way through. Um, but I looked through it and I said, it's different. It's weird, and it's got this like blue cover to it. I should probably go over there and get it and bring it back over here. But there's like no other markings on it, and I don't even see it. It's got to be in one of the boxes then. We were when we packed up so quick that we didn't put everything where it needed to be. So there are some things that are still in boxes that are in the hallway closet that I have not gone through yet, and I bet you it's in one of those because it was separated from my other books because I was looking through it or I was doing something with it before we moved, and it got put in with another box. So I don't see it from here. Even if I went over there and tried to find it, I probably would not be able to find it. So uh, here's some dead air for a second because my nose is starting to get to me. And I know I should have done that whenever I cleared my throat, but I didn't. That's my own fault. But yeah, some people will substitute substitute Yahoo on there, and some people don't. That's fine. Um, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Uh, some people say though, when you get things like this where it says, remember the name of the Lord, the name is to be praised. You know, blessed be the name of the Lord, and you shall know His name. It's Yehovah, Yahusha. You know, Yahusha Hamashiach. Some people say Yeshua Hamashiach. I tend to go with the Yahusha, but that's it's it's one of those things. I've heard it both ways how to pronounce it. Um, Somebody was saying that one of the guys that I heard a video from on how to pronounce his name was saying that when you say Yeshua, um, it could actually mean Jesus cries out. Well, not Jesus Christ, but you know what I mean. The Son of God cries out, um, and not Yahusha, which is the name of the Son of God. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not one of those guys. I have not taken any. I have not taken any Hebrew classes. I have not taken any, pronunciations. I don't know it perfectly. I learn a little bit more, all the time. I'm not saying that, I have all the answers. I'm just saying what I use until somebody can give me a definitive, concept of where it is. That's what I'll do. And again, I say definitive because I can't find three people that agree. One person will say one thing, another person will say another thing, and then the third person will say that we don't need to worry about that at all anyway. So I mean, what 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 do you want to do? It's very hard. We're all trying to find the truth here, and I think that's part of why the Father led me to do this. Is maybe to find something, not only to find comfort and peace inside of the words, but to just find some truth if we can. And I always tell everybody, again, I don't know the answers. I don't know anything. Don't listen to me. Find out for yourself. You go home and pray, and you find out what he wants you to understand. Because what he has let me understand is not going to be what somebody else is going to understand. And I do not want to be some false prophet that's telling you bad information. So, by all means, don't listen to me. Prove it for yourself. That's all I can say. From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised daily, all day long. Verse 4, the Lord is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Who is like unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high, who humbleth himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in earth? He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill, that he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. He maketh the barren woman to keep house, and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to... Where was it at? Yeah. We're going to look this up real quick. One of the things, I know I went on a bit of a tirade yesterday about the conference that we went to. The guy, whatever his name was, talking about the teachings he was giving, and oh wow, okay. But I was kind of going off on that because it just left the worst taste in my mouth possible. And one of the things I didn't talk about was, sorry guys, my nose is running. I'm just trying to wipe it. I'm gonna not try to blow it. I'm just trying to wipe it. But one of the things that he was talking about was the one place where it's saying, in the end times, wars and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, and nation shall rise against nation. And I have said before that line what is it? Nation shall. Let's see if it'll pop up. Matthew 24. So then let's look up Matthew 24. Let's look up Strong's. Because the interesting part about this is that when you read through this, where is it at? Where is it? Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, good old internet giving me the wrong stuff. All right, so I was saying yesterday, and this is the one that he used, was Matthew 24, and they were asking Christ, what shall be the signs? What will it be like in the end of the days? And of course, the first thing he says is, "Take heed that no man deceive you." And he says that like 4 or 5 different times. Whenever they're asking him, what's the end going to be like? What's it going to be like whenever whenever you come back? What's it going to be like whenever things fall apart? And he says, "Don't let any man deceive you. Don't let anyone deceive you. Don't be deceived. Do not let anyone deceive you." It's the very first thing he says. Of course, he says, "For many shall come in my name." And then you hear about wars and rumors of wars. But do not be troubled. Do not fear. But then he says, "Nation shall rise against nation, for nation shall rise against nation." And when you look up that word, nation, it says ethnos. It is a race. It is probably from Strong's 1486. This is Strong's 1484. A race, as of some habits, a tribe, especially a foreign tribe. So this is a race of people shall rise against another race of people. And I've said this before, where races shall rise against other races. Ethnos, ethnic. That's where we got the word from. It's Greek. Ethnos. So you're not going to be, you'll be seeing kingdom against kingdom, sure, which is realms or royalty, royal power, kingdoms, territories. You will see countries fighting against countries, sure, but you will see different races of people fighting against different races of people. So I see this where it's where's that? Okay, verse 4 for what we read today. The Lord is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. So this is before the Greek. You look that one up, and I don't even know if I could say it because I don't know if the YouTube algorithms will get it. It's the goy. It's the goyim. The Lord is high above all goy, and his glory above the heavens. Oh, goodness. Above all nations, though, above all people, usually of non-Hebrew people, of descendants of Abraham, of Israel. Oh, wow. The Lord is high above everybody. Let's just put it that way. I didn't know that's... So, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. So whenever they say goy, they're not just talking about the heathens, the people. It's just the nations. It's just, huh. and part of that, and believe it or not, part of this, part of the definition of this, one nation people, 1A nation people, 1A1 is usually of non-Hebrew people, but 1A2 is of descendants of Abraham, and 1A3 is of Israel. So the same word that could be used for the heathens is a word that could be used for the people of Israel? What? Huh. Interesting. The Lord is high above all peoples, all nations, all peoples. And you see, this is what I say when you read through the book, when you read through the Bible multiple times, you can find so many different things because it's never the same. It changes constantly. That's why they call it a living Bible, because it's always changing. There's always something going on where you reread it and there's something there. And especially whenever you go through the Strong's Concordance, which some people like and some people don't like, but that was what you could call the translation dictionary that they used to say, this word means this word means that, because it's not perfect. It's not a perfect system. Because the way the Hebrew works is even every letter means something. It's not just the word could mean something, it's each letter inside of the word could mean something. So there's this whole other aspect, there's this other tier of understanding the Bible that you can't understand. And each one of those words within themselves, or each one of those letters that means something, could have different meanings within themselves as well. So you've got like multiple definitions of what's going on. That's why sometimes whenever you read certain things and you go look it up to find out, it opens it up even more. Like, again, the whole nation will rise against nation. What does that mean to you in English? Because English was a language created to confuse the masses. I've said that many times. I absolutely believe that now, because the way that the English language works, it's not a perfect flowing system. It is made. You have, if you have any language where you have 3 to 4 different words that all sound exactly alike but mean completely different things, that's a problem. If this was a language that was slowly created over thousands and thousands of years or whatever they say it was, you wouldn't have done that to screw yourself up. You really wouldn't have done that to screw yourself up. This was a language that they made for the low people so that we could screw ourselves up. And now it's even worse. They're not even worried about teaching kids how to spell it at this point. They're just, as long as you can speak it, and be confused by it. But whenever you hear it in English, nations will rise against nation, you're going to think, it's just country against country, kingdom against kingdom. Okay, I get that. That's cool. That's fine. It's not what it says, though. It's a race shall rise against race. Different peoples shall rise against different peoples. That's a race war. The Bible is telling you that there will be a racial clash at the end of days. You're looking for wars against countries. You're not even thinking about wars against other races. What's that all about? See? But then you hear the same word used, in the Old Testament like this. You have to look it up, and it turns out that word, which we have been called by a certain people that we can't even talk about, because if you do, you could be considered anti-Semitic. That word encompasses not just the heathens, but it encompasses the children of Abraham as well. It's an interesting thing. There's something going on there, see? This is opening up your Bible 101. I mean, I think the only way to really understand this stuff and comprehend this stuff, I swear, is to just learn the language. You know, once you learn the language for yourself and once you're able to understand it for yourself, you could probably, open this bad boy up in so many different ways and find out what's going on. Um, it's just so hard to figure this stuff out sometimes. Right here, too. I'm just looking at this. And so the very first line, praise ye the Lord, praise ye, O servants of the Lord, praise the name of the Lord. There are two different Strongs. The first one is Yah, praise ye the Lord, praise ye Yah, sacred name, Yahovah. The second one, praise ye, O the servants of the Lord, Yahovah. So the first one is Yah, praise ye Yah, praise ye, O servants of Yahovah. Self-existence and eternal, the Jewish name of the Lord. The sacred name. That's interesting. And that's another one of those things. That's another one of those concepts that you have to unlock is why is it that whenever they say the Lord, it's like two different ways, Sometimes four different ways. But there's something to it. There's some kind of deeper meaning into it that God has hidden from us because we don't need to know everything. I've already said that before too. Just because God said you will know everything doesn't mean you're going to know everything right now. Proper name of the one true God, used in many compounds. And you see, that makes me think of all those people that will go through and change the name of Lord to Yahovah or Yahweh or any other combination, and it makes me think if they know the difference between the two. Praise ye Yah. Praise ye, O servants of Yahovah. Praise the name of the Lord. Praise the name Yahovah. Because the Strongs say so. The Strongs are right there. Wow. That's different though, isn't it? I mean, it's just it's good stuff when you really get down to it. When you really pull this stuff apart and you get down into the base root of what's going on, man, you find out some really interesting things. It's one of those things that I was shown way early on, and I didn't really understand it at the time. And I've been fortunate and privileged enough to be able to have that opportunity to go back through, and I thank the Father every day. Thank you for letting me have the ability to be able to see that. And it's an amazing thing, man. It really is. It's an absolutely amazing thing. So I got 30 minutes left. I mean, we're done, and I got 30 minutes. What am I gonna do? There's nothing really to talk about, honestly. I'm not going to get all doom and gloomy on you because, I've been pulling back on the doom and gloom. I really have. Everybody is kind of repeating themselves at this point. You start going out and you start looking for the truth, looking for truth videos and people speaking the truth. And what I'm finding is that a lot of people are just repeating themselves over and over again at this point. A lot of people are up in arms about the police up in Canada. And hey, what do you what did you expect is going to happen? There's somebody I heard a while back now actually was saying that you know you're going to go out to a protest and you're going to get your ass kicked by a guy that's in full armor with carrying sticks, and you're gonna cry and bitch and moan about being beat up by a guy that has full armor and carrying a stick, you know, eh, then maybe you should be prepared for what's coming. Which is exactly which I'm like, you know what? That's not the dumbest idea in the world. Maybe you should be prepared for what's coming. Which means that maybe if you're going to go out to a protest, you should be out there in more than just jeans and shirt. You should be armored up too. It's not the hardest thing in the world to go out to a sports store and buy padding or a catcher's mask or something. I mean, you have to be prepared to fight back against them the way that they're fighting against you. And of course, this goes along with the whole there are people out there at these protests that want nothing more than for you to just, sit on the floor and sing kumbaya and hope for the best. Meanwhile, the jackboots are stomping right over you. Are you getting anything done? You know? Because I'll tell you what, nobody's seeing it. All these people that are going out there, they're filming all these people getting beat up and hurt and all this stuff. And the only people that are seeing that are the people inside of your own circle. That's it. Your mom is not seeing it. Your grandmother is not seeing it. Your dad, your family is not seeing this stuff because unless they are within the truth community and they understand the truth, they're not seeing it on national television. They don't care. And when you show it to them, they just shrug it off. It's like, yeah, whatever. They're not doing anything about it. And sadly, that's the majority of people. They're not doing anything about it because they're not seeing it. So if you're going to go out there and martyr yourself out to, the police line in a protest, it's not accomplishing anything. You're going to be arrested. You're going to be put on a list, and you're going to be held accountable for this stuff. And they're talking about some pretty hefty fines, some pretty hefty jail time for this stuff now. So I'm not saying you shouldn't protest. I'm just saying you should be prepared for what's happening. Again, you're going out there and fighting people that are in full tactical gear, sometimes holding shields, definitely holding sticks and pepper spray. You're out there fighting people like that in your t-shirt and jeans. If you're going to go out there and fight, you need to be prepared. You need to be out there armored up just as much as they are. And yes, you should be carrying sticks. That's been I think the one thing that has separated the protests that work from the protests that don't work is the fact that the protesters that walk out there with sticks and torches and pitchforks, those are the ones that get things done because those cops aren't scared of you. They're not scared of the 40-year-old woman that has to be held up by a wheelchair or by her walker that's shouting at them. but you get 30 or 40, you know, you get 30 or 40 20 to 30 somethings out there that are armored up just as much as they are, that are holding pitchforks, holding boards, holding torches. They're going to stop and look. They're going to stop and think about it for a second. You know, that's I've said this almost from the very beginning. Is you're not going to win this with words. I might get this video pulled off of YouTube because I say that. But it's the truth. You're not going to win this battle with words. You're not going to be able to vote your way out of this. You're not going to be able to talk your way out of this. You're not going to be able to sit down and dialogue your way out of this. You're definitely not going to be able to shut down your supply line your way out of this. This is a different kind of battle now, or you're well past the point of being nice. But nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear that, we can peacefully turn things around. And it's like, yeah, how's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? Are we winning? Are we winning that battle? Some people say we will. You ain't winning shit. You ain't winning nothing. Man, I see it on Twitter all the time. We're winning. Look, we're winning. Look, people are actually... Blah, 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 blah. It's like, you ain't winning nothing. They're giving you your idea of winning. That's what it is. You haven't won a damn thing, man. What you're doing is you're allowing them to stay in power, and you're allowing them to tell you that you're winning, but you ain't winning nothing, man. There ain't nobody out there that these politicians, these rulers, your rulers are not, they're not caring anymore. They again, they have found the way to push you to the point that you will actually get out of your house, but you won't do anything else past that because you still think that peaceful protests mean something. They don't mean nothing. You're not. So, if you're gonna go out and do this fight, you need to fight this fight by their rules. That's why these cops are just trampling all over people, because they're not scared. They don't care. They don't care. They will clobber right over top of you. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn because you're not a threat. You're not a threat to their life. It's just all there is to it. Once you become a threat to their life, they're going to stop. That's, again, why America has not become as bad as everybody else. Because we still have guns. Because whenever it comes time to really, really have a protest in this country, we're going to walk out there with guns. And that's whenever they're going to get scared. That's a very scary thing. When the people that you're fighting against have the same weapons that you do, you're going to take a step back. Or at least individuals might take a step back. The leaders, the people at the top are still going to be pushing as hard as possible. Oh, go out there and kill those, peasants. Peasants are going to do, but the guys that are on the ground, they're going to stop and think about it for a second. Because nobody's, you've got two different classes of people that they're going to wind up losing their lives. They're going to stop and think about it. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't remember what it was. I think we were watching. What were we watching? Something about the Civil War. Something. I don't remember what, either the Revolutionary War or the Civil War or something. And I was watching, how they used to just stand up in straight lines and just shoot at each other across a field. And I said, man, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. What man in his right mind is going to stand there and do that? That's the most ridiculous thing ever. And we have this romanticized idea of it too. It's where they were so patriotic, they were so honorable that they would all stand up, would be willing to stand up in straight lines and slowly move towards their enemies in these flanks, and or these long lines, and the cannon fire. It's like that's a story we were told. They can reenact it a million times. That doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't ever mean that it's true. They might have just made those reenactments to make you think that, make you, did all those paintings to make you think that's the way it's supposed to be. But that's just not how the human being works. You're going to go out there and you're going to be scared off your ass because the people on the other side of that field have the same exact weaponry that you do. So you're going to know that you're going to get hurt, and somebody's going to tell you to go out there and march out in a nice straight line so that you can be shot down perfectly. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I just another one of those things, where you're just like, I have a feeling that it was far more disorganized than that. I absolutely have the feeling that whenever it came time for that to happen, they broke those ranks and they just ran for it, and they tried to if the Revolutionary War was anything like they say it was, you would have won, probably because uh, the revolutionaries would have been fighting exactly opposite to how the British were fighting, because the British used to have that whole thing where they would have a line of guys sitting right in front on their knees, and then they would have the guys, in the back, and they would do that because they didn't need to move. That was the British, man. If you weren't scared enough as it was of this wall of red coats, if you weren't scared enough of that as it was, then the fact that you had two lines of fire, sometimes three lines of fire, because they would have a third line that as soon as the first line shot, the ones that were on their knees, they either reached through to the guy behind them to grab another gun, or they the whole system just replaced itself. It was they were that good. I can get that. I can understand that. That's fine. Especially whenever you're holding a defensive defensive system. I can understand that, or a defensive stance system. You hear me? Defensive system. I can absolutely understand that. But Joe Schmo, Schmo farmer that has never fought a war in his life, he's going to be the one that he's going to be the one that runs out, and when they start shooting, he's going to drop to the ground, he's going to get back up, he's going to keep running, he's going to shoot, he's going to drop down, he's going to reload, he's going to shoot again. How did I get on this anyway? How did I get onto this? Oh, just the whole concept of life. You're going to fear life, or you're going to fear death. Is that if you knew that your enemy was coming at you with the same weaponry you have, you would stop. You would stop and think about it. That's how it was. I get on some crazy talks, man. Just because, like I said, I don't have anything else to talk about. And I definitely have not had enough sleep. Oh man. All right. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that stuff, other than, like I said, don't 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 go out to these places thinking that you're going to win the war with your words and your your cute funny signs because nobody's cared. You're gonna have, you can put 100,000 people or whatever in the streets walking down the road and shouting at the top of your lungs, shouting your slogans, doing all the stuff. But in the end, what are you accomplishing? What are you really accomplishing? You gotta, we gotta do something else because this just, like I said, it's not working. And everybody's getting so upset that grandma's getting pushed over because she got caught in between. She got caught in between a line of cops and a line of protesters. And it's like, why was Granny out there in the first place? Who in the hell put the old women up front? What, are you kidding me? You know, where's all the men? If there are any men that are out at these things, first thing you need to be doing, like I said, is you need to be dressed for the occasion. We're well past the point of peaceful protests. You need to be dressed for the occasion, and most of this stuff you can go out and buy at Army surplus. It's not hard to get tactical vests. It's not hard to get shin guards and elbow pads and helmets. You can go out and buy bike helmets. It's not hard to get this stuff. You need to dress for the occasion. I'm definitely not talking about this fake FBI patriot movement, whatever the hell it is. Oh my goodness, where they were all dressed in the same jacket. They all had matching hats, and they all had matching masks. And I'm like, well, come on, man. I've seen some false flags in my time, but holy smokes. So yeah, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into, and you gotta know how to fight this. You can't. You have to know that we are well past the point, way past the point of being nice, because they don't care. They've shown they don't care. They don't even care if they are filmed beating down a 70-year-old woman in the street. They don't care. And what's worse is the people that are filming it, it's not being seen. It's nobody seeing it because you've allowed your social media networks to censor every single little thing that you can. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing the protests on national television. If you do, they're out there lying to people saying, "Oh, a couple thousand people were out there." You're not being seen. It's not. It's just not happening the way you want it to. So what are you gonna do? What can you do? You can fight harder is what you can do. Fight smarter. Well, at any rate, I am going to. I'm already logged into the computer. I still got a couple minutes, but I don't have anything else to say. You know how it is. Um, I just don't even know anymore, man. People are people are complaining and bitching and moaning about how things are going. And yet, no one seems to want to. No one seems to want to admit to themselves that in order to get any real change, in order to enact any real change, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight just as ugly as they are. Nobody likes hearing that because nobody wants to put themselves in that kind of danger. But what else are you going to do? What else can you do? Because this isn't solving anything. It really is not solving anything. If it does, I will be amazed. I will be surprised. For the first time in a long time, I will be surprised if any of this stuff actually solves anything. But it's not. These people don't care anymore. They don't care about you. They don't care about, you know, they are almost officially uh, enacting a scorched earth system at this point, where they don't care so much so to the point that they are willing to burn it down and then salt the earth and then be done with it. Because that's what they want. It's because that's what they want. They don't want us around. They don't need us around. They don't like us around. They've said this for years. I've shown where they've said this for years. They don't need us. They don't want us. They don't like us. And for anybody that they do decide to keep, they want to keep us as slaves to do whatever they want to with us. It's been like this for years, for millennia. The Bible has warned us about that. It's that we will be put back into bondage. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. So fight harder. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it anymore. And the more I say about it, the more people say, well, why aren't you doing something about it? Well, it's because one guy going out by himself, trying to sabotage everything that's going on in the world, what am I going to do? You know, what's some fat middle-aged guy like me going to do? You know, I'm going to tell you that you're going to have to fight harder. This is what I'm going to do. Because from this point, I can't do anything but, you know, try to provide some kind of comfort, some kind of understanding to what's going on. So, to resist tyranny is to obey God. That's all I really have to say about it, I suppose. All right, I shall see you guys later. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to have to go check my closet again, make sure we're not getting any water in the house. Because, you know, rain. All right, I shall see you guys later.